Good evening and welcome back to Prophets Watch, where we analyze and look at the significance of ancient prophets today. Today we look at Obadiah. Although he is one of the shortest books in the Old Testament, it is still one of the most profound. We will look at who he was, what his message was, and was it effective. Continue watching to find out.
To understand Obadiah's prophecy, we must first look at the political chaos of his time. The year is around 586 BC. The mighty Babylonian Empire, under King Nebuchadnezzar, has just invaded Judah, burned Jerusalem to the ground, and took many Israelites into exile. But Israel had an even deeper betrayal. Their neighbors, the Edomites, descendants of Esau, did not come to help. Instead, they took advantage of Judah's destruction, destroying the city and capturing fleeing Israelites, turning them into the Babylonians. This betrayal by Edom is what brings us to the prophet Obadiah and his powerful message.
Obadiah's spiritual circumstances were far from perfect. Israel was in a spiritual crisis, with their temple being destroyed and people exiled. They wondered if God had abandoned them. Meanwhile, Edom celebrated their downfall because they thought that they had become untouchable. But Prophet Isaiah directed a warning straight from God to the Israelites. Obadiah made sure his message was clear to the Israelites that Edom would not go unpunished. Their arrogance and cruel acts against the Israelites would result in destruction.
Obadiah's prophecy was short but direct. Edom's downfall was coming. They believed that their mounting strongholds made them invincible, but God declared that their pride would lead to ruin. But Obadiah didn't just bring up a message of judgment, he also spoke hope to Israel. Though they suffered, they would be restored. The prophecy was fulfilled. Edom eventually fell to invading forces, disappearing from history. Meanwhile, Israel endured and was restored.
His messages in parts of Scripture, including 2 Kings 25, verses 8 through 11, describing the destruction of Jerusalem by Babylonians. Obadiah 1, 10 through 12, which condemns the Edom's betrayal. And then Psalms 137, verse 7, which means, "Remember, O Lord, against the Edomites the day of Jerusalem." These passages show how deeply the Edomites' betrayal affected the Israelites.
Obadiah's message is not just ancient history, it speaks directly to us today. His prophecy teaches several timeless lessons. The first was betrayal has consequences. Just as Edom turned on their own kin, we see nations and individuals betray trust for personal gain. The second was pride leads to downfall. Whether in politics, business, or personal life, unchecked arrogance leads to destruction. And the last is hope in God's trust in God's justice. Even in suffering, God promises restoration for his people. In a world filled with division, injustice, and pride, Obadiah's warning remains relevant. Will we choose betrayal and pride, or will we seek justice and humility?
The book of Obadiah, despite being short, is one of great importance. Even though the Edomites believed them to be untouchable, their fate was sealed through their betrayal. And although the Israelites were thought to be destroyed, they were not forgotten by God. The question still remains, though. Will we learn from our past decisions? And do we know how to correct ourselves to stay under God's good graces? Thank you for watching Prophet Watch, and tune into the next one.